Hey everybody, my name is Chris. I'm from Six Wins. This is Matt. He's also from Six Wins. Mm-hmm. And what we do is we do pop culture brackets. And right now we're working our way through our best TV show bracket. And we're in the Sweet 16. Some of these matchups are really, really, really good. And we put all of these matchups up to vote on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And then we come here to YouTube to talk about them, give our thoughts, and then reveal who moves on in each matchup at the end of the videos. So this matchup here, we're in the comedy region. So this one is really, really interesting. So we got Always Sunny, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, versus The Simpsons.
Yeah.
So these are two just classic all-time shows. So Matt, do you want to take it away with your thoughts on The Simpsons versus Always Sunny?
I can, and I'll try to keep it a bit briefer than I do. For me, as much as I respect The Simpsons and know how influential it was for animation on TV, for animation geared towards adults on TV, for comedy animation on TV, and how many shows it inspired and influenced and things like that, the show just doesn't really do it for me. I don't know if it's a product of its time. We also talked about in an earlier video that comedy still had to be pretty safe in like the 80s and 90s. There were like no swear words on TV. There was just so much more censoring and concern about like what was on TV or on the radio or in films and things like that. And as we got into like the 2000s and the 10s, shows could be more edgy and do a lot more like actual surprising comedy stuff. The Simpsons, I think it would have been too jarring. I don't think they ever changed, even though they could have, and I respect them for not changing. But they've just always kind of stayed in like that 80s, comedy light sort of thing. There's some clever stuff. There's some like goofy, there's probably, dad humor, puns, just silly stuff. But for me, it's a bit just too whimsical or something. I don't know. And I think the show is just sometimes too unfocused. It's almost too big. We've talked about like Friends had like 6 main characters, and Office is like Friends on steroids. Cause like you got 6 characters, let me raise you 6 more, and a bunch of side characters and things like that. There's almost too many side characters, and I just feel like the episodes from one week to another never tie in or relate to each other. So Simpsons, I would have voted. I think I might have convinced myself Simpsons over Workaholics just for its influence, but I like Workaholics better. I would have taken Family Guy over Simpsons, but I also maybe convinced myself Simpsons. I have to go back and watch the tapes. I might have convinced myself Simpsons for both of those, even though I would much rather watch Workaholics and Family Guy. This is where it ends.
Okay.
Always Sunny for me is one of my favorite comedy shows of all time.
Heck yeah.
It is one of the most laugh out loud comedy shows for me of all time. It is able to do the kind of comedy. It's about as far as you can go. South Park is the best at doing that. But Always Sunny, because it has and will try to do it all, I imagine, and push the boundaries as far as it can go, gets my comedy respect, and it's still really funny.
Yeah.
We might do a shorts top 6 like episodes or top 6 sort of bits from Always Sunny, because I could go on forever about that, but I will leave it there. Always Sunny for me.
Cool. It's really close for me. The Simpsons was a big part of growing up for me. I remember it always aired Sunday nights, and we'd always come in Monday and quote The Simpsons. Like, what were your favorite parts? This went into like high school. We always talk Simpsons. So we're talking even in the like early 2000s. I remember sophomore and junior year of high school, which was like 2002, 2003 for me. We would go in, we would just die laughing because Simpsons was still killing it at that time. And I know it kind of fell off over the years. They got a little, I don't know. I disagree with them feeling like they had to take Apu as a character off of the show. Like he was.
Oh, I thought you said Apu. And I was like, are you talking about Mr. Hanky? Does The Simpsons also have a poop character?
No. No, so they took Apu off, which I disagree with. I think, and this isn't a unique thought to myself. I heard another comedian talk about this who is of that same descent. I would say it's Indian descent.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, the way Apu was portrayed, like, he owned his own business, like, he was killing it. Like, there was no reason why that should have been offensive to anyone, and it rubbed me the wrong way because Simpsons was not as much as a South Park or It's Always Sunny, but it pushed boundaries a little bit. Like, it was the first show, early 90s, to talk about that, like, to use the words like hell and damn.
Oh,
and
yeah.
even ass. Like, it was, a lot of parents didn't want their kids watching The Simpsons. It was,
Yeah. Bart Simpson was like a terror to this country. They're like, Bart Simpson should be banned.
Yeah.
Like, they were boundary pushers for then.
Yeah, he's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
And, so it was pretty innovative in that
Little did
way.
they know.
I know.
The characters that would come.
So, hello.
Hi.
Hi. No shame-o in here.
No shame.
No.
Oh, no shame, Mom. There's a cat. There's 2 cats in here.
Cat. Yeah.
We don't know who they voted for.
Cool,
We'll ask
couple
them.
of cool cats. Yeah. But which show to me is the better show? Cool story about Matt Groening, one of the creators of The Simpsons. He would come into this restaurant that I worked at quite a bit when I was working in when I was living in California.
We do this with Cal, right?
Yeah.
That's what we did that all the time.
I know. After we got done surfing, I'd go like work a couple hours at this restaurant. But shout out to the restaurant. It's called Republique. It's still hanging in there even after a bunch of them got shut down during COVID. Still killing it. One of the best restaurants out there. Matt Groening would always come in, and when he would sign the check, he would always, not always, but most of the time, he would doodle a little picture of Bart Simpson or Homer on the back. It's super cool because people knew who he was, and that's kind of was his like. I mean, he would sign the check, but that was his like signature. How you knew Matt Groening was there. He would just you could have a little picture of Homer Simpson from Matt Groening. So pretty cool. And I will say, the Simpsons movie was hilarious. Did you ever watch the Simpsons movie?
I have seen the Simpsons movie. Yeah.
Pretty funny. Like, cool concept with like the dome and everyone being trapped in the dome, and a lot of really funny bits throughout that movie.
Yeah.
But if we're talking my favorite shows, I said in one video, Michael Scott was my favorite character of TV. If there's one character that's gonna knock him out of that spot or rival him, it's Dennis from It's Always Sunny. Gosh, I feel like you go through maybe like a cycle. Like when you first watch the show, maybe Frank is your favorite character, and then maybe it kind of becomes Charlie because you pick up on his quirks. But I feel like any longer time fan of It's Always Sunny sees the value in Dennis and just how much of a sociopath he is. I mean, with the implication scene, classic, just trying to convince Mac why these women are in no danger that are going on the boat. He's like, no, they're not in danger. It's just the implication of danger. It's going to allow us to, get in there or whatever. And then how he makes women fall in love with him, the classic Dennis system episode. Gosh, such good writing. And they're always very topical. And all that being said, I'm going to go It's Always Sunny too.
Oh my gosh.
It's Always Sunny.
I figured there was a done deal for you, but I didn't know you were such a big Simpsons fan, actually.
Love The Simpsons.
Nice.
I haven't watched it in 15 years.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're still making episodes, they're still on, network TV. Yeah.
All right. But so we both go Always Sunny.
We're going It's Always Sunny. And this is the moment where we reveal which of these two shows is moving on to the Elite Eight based off the votes that we got on our social medias.
Did you have a prediction before when we saw this matchup?
Based off the matchup, I found that The Simpsons had won with a bigger margin.
Yeah.
Leading up to this point. So I actually did think Simpsons.
I thought Simpsons would win too.
It's been around longer. It's a pretty memeable show. It's still kind of got like the Grandpa Simpson walking into the thing, walking out, and then like the classic Homer like evaporating into the bushes.
Yeah.
So
I did think just because of its like status as like the original animated comedy.
Yeah.
I figured it would win this one.
Okay. And when the voting came in, it was pretty close.
Yeah.
But Simpsons is moving on to the Elite Eight, and it'll be facing off against South Park, a show that you could say like kind of took a page out of Simpsons book. Yeah. Different shows, but both animated. So it's kind of interesting that the two animated shows from the region are moving on to the Elite Eight.